Hello and welcome back to the channel. Yes, we are in post commentary today. After the last video that I uploaded where I asked you guys if you would prefer post commentary or the video edits, you guys overwhelmingly voted for the post commentary videos at 100% of the vote. So that is what we will be doing going forward. And I mean, we'll still do a couple of the music edits and stuff like that because they're fun and it's a little bit of a different speed for us, and you know, why not just give us a little flavor every once in a while. But for the most part, we'll be looking at some cards, you know, in post comment. I'll be talking and explaining, you know, my thoughts on the cards. We'll start with that today, actually, as I figured we can review the previous 7 cards I've already done videos on. We won't do all 7 right now, or else it'll be a pretty long video. So we'll do 4 today, 3 on the next video. The 4 we're going to do today are the Derrick Rose Evolved Ruby card that comes from your free starter pack, the Gerald Green Evolved Ruby card, which comes from Triple Threat Rewards. I did the video on that. Then we will also be doing the Jamal Crawford Emerald Rewards card that I made a video on, as well as the Leap Year Robert Pack Evolved card. So we'll look at those 4 today, and in the next video, which is coming up hopefully soon, we'll look at the Steve Kerr Lights Out card, the Out of Position Spud Webb card, and the Galaxy Opal Nate Archibald. So look out for that video in the future. But yeah, today we're just gonna look over these 4 cards. So let's get into it. The first card we're looking at is that Derrick Rose Evolved Ruby card. Now, it's the card that you can select in your free starter pack at the beginning of the MyTeam experience. If you didn't select that Derrick Rose card, there's no way for you to get your hands on it at this point. But if you did and you haven't evolved it, do that. It evolves from an emerald to a ruby, and it is not a difficult upgrade process to go through. I think it's only a few hundred points and like 50 or so dunks. It's a relatively easy card to upgrade, and it is well worth the upgrade. That card is incredibly fast, and it performs so many highlight dunks, and it's your typical slashing. It plays like Derrick Rose played in real life. He goes into the paint fast and hard. Pause. But it's well worth the upgrades and the little time that it takes to get into that card. Important stat increases that card sees is plus 34 shot close, bringing it up to an 84 overall, plus 16 inside scoring, bringing it up to an 80 overall, plus 15 driving dunk, bringing it up to an 85 overall. But let me tell you, it feels a lot higher than that. You'll see in these clips, it plays a lot higher than that. And then plus 5 driving layup. This card, like I said, it does a lot of its work in the paint. It can shoot threes. It's a relatively decent shooter, but the importance of that card is its ability to drive into the paint. Important stats otherwise that didn't really face the chains, but are still important to this card: 92 athleticism, 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 93 speed with ball. That card is incredibly quick. It moves around the court. That's probably one of the biggest parts of that card, is it can move its way around the card. You can see in the video here, it is quick. He also has a 93 vertical, which is incredible for the card of that stature, and it really shows in that card. Only 5 gold badges for that starter card, but like I said, I think this is a kind of a theme for the starter cards, to only have a few gold badges, but it's got some good badges: gold acrobat, gold slithery finisher, gold downhill, gold quick first step, and gold space creator. So all very important for Derrick Rose to speed past defenders, get into an open space, and either drive in and slam down with the power of Zeus, or to create an open shot. This card is well worth the effort into upgrading, and I highly recommend it. Alright, next we're going to talk about that Gerald Green Evolved Ruby card. He comes a part of the offline Triple Threats reward system. I think he's about tier 15. You get him as a Sapphire, you can upgrade him 1 up to a Ruby, and he's well worth the evolution. It doesn't take too long, it's only a few hundred points and a handful of dunks. And he's a really solid card for most starting / low budget squads. Well-rounded card, doesn't do anything too crazy. He's not, meaning like he's not overly good at one thing, but he's a well-rounded card. His defensive stats are a little bit lower. We'd like to see those a little bit higher, but other than that, not a bad card. He does have an increase on his offensive consistency and +3 to his mid-range when you do bump him up to that ruby, which are very important. His mid-range shooting is probably, to me, his best attribute, as well as his work on the inside. He does have 85 shot close, 90 driving dunk, and 96 vertical. He does have a fun dunk package to use, and he performs a lot of really top-end highlight dunks for you. Two stats that surprised me that were surprisingly low were his 51 post moves and his 58 post fade. He does a little bit better than those stats would lead you to believe in those areas because of his gold difficult shot badge. We'll talk about his badges actually. He does have 2 Hall of Fame badges, fast break finisher and Showtime, as well as 21 gold badges. The key ones there being his gold acrobat, consistent finisher, catch and shoot, dead eye, difficult shot, and flexible release. He does pull out some pretty solid turnaround jump shots, post moves. Like I said, his post shot is pretty solid. He's a good card to use. It's a fun card to use, and I'd definitely go get his card as soon as possible. Next up is the Emerald Rewards Jamal Crawford card. This is the card you can get from the rewards tab under the pack market section of MyTeam. He's only worth 3 tokens, so well worth the purchase. He's got a good card. It's a usual Jamal Crawford card. Good handles, decent speed, decent 3-point shot. Other than that, nothing crazy. His defensive stats are kind of low. His shooting is pretty inconsistent. For instance, he only has 1 hot zone, which is right underneath the basket. He's a good like beginner's card or low budget card, and or for the bench on a cheap team. But I want to center your focus around him too much. He does do some cool dribble moves, I gotta admit it, but it's Jamal Crawford. That's how he goes. Important stats to look out for. His 84 driving layup, his 95 hands, his 83 athleticism, his 95 stamina, and 93 ball handle, which is important to this card because he has the handle for days badge as well, so that ball handling really comes in handy. And 80 speed with the ball. Would like a little higher, but it's not a terrible stat there. Important badges he does have 6 gold and 6 silver badges. Important badges are the gold ankle breakers, gold handles for days, quick first step, space creator, stop and go, and tie handles. All those are gold. Silver ones that are important are his difficult shots, slithery finisher, and acrobat. It's a fun card to use. It's nothing crazy, not my favorite card, but it's definitely one if you're looking for an Emerald Rewards card to select from the tokens page. That is definitely the one I would go with. Alright, and the final card we're going to look at this episode is that Leap Year Robert Pack card. It evolves from a ruby to an amethyst. It's the only card so far that you can actually buy on the market. Its ruby card is worth about 2,000 on the buy now range. Its amethyst is about 6,900.
Nice.
And it's a very similar card to Derrick Rose. It's fast, it's kind of a smaller guard, but it slashes well. It's got solid shooting ability and a really good dunk package, and gets up there with the big guys. It's definitely one of my favorite cards, if not my favorite card to use so far. He's definitely a surprise card, but definitely a solid choice to pack him in there. Important stat increases: he gets plus 10 to his mid-range, bringing it up to 92. Plus 6 to his speed and acceleration, and speed with ball, bringing all those up to 96s. And plus 5 lateral quickness, bringing that up to a 94. This card's, like I said, very fast. Can move around the court with speed, and it gets him around defenders into easy dunks and the cool flashy dunks, as you can see in some of the clips here. Important stats he has otherwise: 95 shot close, 95 driving layup, 97 driving dunk, 97 vertical. Again, really surprising for a small guard like that to have that large of a vertical. 90 ball handling, which is nice. 90 steal, he does get a lot of steals, and 90 pass accuracy. In badges he has 7 Hall of Fame badges and 28 gold. Important badges there are his Hall of Fame quick first step, his Hall of Fame giant slayer, his Hall of Fame contact finisher, consistent finisher, and fast break finisher, and then a Hall of Fame pickpocket. A couple gold, like a gold ankle breaker, gold space creator, Gold flashy passer are fun for the eyes, but he does have that gold pro touch, which is very important to the card. That well worth the investment. Like I said, only about 2,000 if you want to still go through the upgrade process. If not, 6,900 coins is not too bad of a price to pay for this card. So definitely well worth the purchase.